What's going on, guys? Multiverse here with yet another action figure review video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the gold label Batman and Batmobile 2-pack by McFarlane Toys. Starting off this video, guys, we're of course taking a look at that beautiful McFarlane packaging, and it is of course that black, white, and blue packaging. However, this one here does not have an open face window. This is just a solid cardboard box by McFarlane Toys with Batman from '89 movie and the Batmobile all over this thing, and it just looks amazing. I do, however, wish we got an open face window because I really would have loved to see what the Batmobile looked like before we took a deep dive into it from outside the packaging. However, the Batmobile looks amazing. Got the measurements on the side of 22 and 60 centimeters. It looks absolutely amazing. There's not really much I can talk about this box other than, of course, the beautiful logos and the measurements and the beautiful images on the side of it. However, let's go ahead and just rip this bad boy open and take a closer look at the Batmobile and Michael Keaton's Batman. So right here, guys, is the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman standing straight up and down on the rotating turntable. And unfortunately, there is no read-up with this guy, or I just got it through Amazon like today, and I didn't see a card in there. So unfortunately, he doesn't come with a read-up, or at least in this case, he doesn't for me. But for my first-hand impressions on this figure, guys, I think he looks absolutely amazing. This is one of my all-time favorite bat suits. It's one of my all-time favorite Batman movies. I don't care what James Gunn says. This movie was a good time. It's one of the most iconic Batman movies with Jack Nicholson's Joker, Michael Keaton's Batman, and that movie is absolutely beautiful. I love that movie. I grew up on that movie, watched it on repeat with my brother and my dad way back in the day, and I absolutely love to have this Batman in figure form. It is a beautiful figure to have, and it just looks so accurate compared to how he looked in the movie. It looks amazing. I cannot stress that enough. I feel like one of the only things I'm not too crazy about is the head. I feel like the neck going into the head is a little too narrow. I feel like it makes him look like he's got like a fat head going on, and that could just be an homage to how the cowl didn't sit right on Michael Keaton's face in the '89 movie. However, I can overlook that. Like I told you guys time and time again, I am very Batman biased. It is one of my all-time favorite comic book characters. It's one of my all-time favorite fictional characters in general. There's like Batman and then King Kong. So I absolutely love these figures, and being able to have them, it just makes that little kid in me just scream of pure happiness. With all that said, guys, let's go ahead and get the Dark Knight off of the rotating turntable and take a closer look at the accessory that he came with. When it comes to the accessories, guys, I am definitely calling the Batmobile an accessory. But before we get there, we have to get to the most important accessory in the package. And he does, of course, come with the standard DC McFarlane base. Yeah! Now let's get to this beautiful Batmobile, the '89 Batmobile, the Batmobile that will forever be my Batmobile. I absolutely love the design of this Batmobile. I love how black it is. This vehicle is one of my all-time favorite Batman vehicles, is of course the Batmobile. This is just, when I think of the Batmobile, this is the one I think of. It doesn't matter who is driving it. I thought Ben Affleck's was pretty cool because it kind of looked like a little bat crawling on all fours, kind of. I don't know. It's just something that it looked like to me. But this one here is just the best Batmobile, hands down. There is no opinion. There's only facts at this point. This is the best Batmobile, and I do love the detail, the design of it, but the detail within this Batmobile is absolutely beautiful. It's phenomenal. I love how it is mobile, so you can play around with it. It's going to be great for photos on my Instagram, but just this absolutely is amazing to have. I can't believe we finally have an 89 Batmobile. And I know he made another one from the Flash movie, but I decided to skip that one, especially when I found out that this one was coming out and this one was the matte black. I didn't want my Batmobile to be too super glossy. However, what I'm probably going to do is I am probably going to paint this, maybe get some black matte spray paint, or not matte, but gloss spray paint or something, and just put it over the windshield because you couldn't see inside the Batmobile. And I get why they did it, because this one right here, if you actually pop this up, and if I can get this to slide forward, it does open. And if you take your Batman and actually conform his legs up, get his little driving mode engaged, tuck his little cape, and just stuff him into the Batmobile, he does fit inside of it, and he fits perfectly. I absolutely love that they did this, and like you can get him to sit just perfectly to where his ears get covered up inside the Batmobile, and you can still see him inside there, ready to take on Gotham, looking for the Joker and or the Penguin, whichever one you want him to be chasing, being that that's the only time we saw this Batmobile on the move. But like I said, guys, I absolutely love the detail on here, and I do want to take a deep dive on the Batmobile's detail. You got the little engine down here, you got the little connects all throughout the Batmobile. It looks absolutely phenomenal. I love how we have like that nuclear fan look in the front. The headlights are painted beautifully, and just a little where the machine guns come out of the car. I love that they included this in there, because one of the most annoying thing ever is hearing somebody complain about Ben Affleck's Batmobile having machine guns. This one did too. This Batman had no problem murking people left and right. Flipping over to this side, guys, we see, of course, it is another mirror image of the other side with the engine interiors going on here, or whatever you want to call them, the piping, the wires, the whatever you want to call them. I'm not an engine guy, especially don't know the engine on the Batmobile, but it still looks amazing. I love the silver that they painted over it. I love, of course, the little bats on the wheels. I think they look absolutely phenomenal. And then, of course, you have the back of the Batmobile, and it does look amazing. I love that we have the little jet booster on the back. We have some more down here on the sides. The tail lights are beautifully painted, no excess red anywhere else except on the tail light where it needs to be. And then, of course, I love his little vent he's got going here, and of course the wings of the Batmobile. It does look amazing, it feels amazing, and I personally am going to leave it the way it is. I know a few people have been customizing it, repainting it to make it look more black than this like kind of like blackish gray, but I absolutely love that look on it. I think it looks amazing. Like I said, the only thing that I'm planning on customizing on it is the windshield. I am going to spray paint that like a glossy black, so that way I can't see inside the vehicle. With all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and move away from the Batmobile and its detail and take a closer look at the Dark Knight himself. In terms of detail, guys, starting off with the head sculpt, I think this figure looks exactly like Michael Keaton. It does look closer to him than how it did in the Flash Michael Keaton Batman. I do think this one is the superior head sculpt, and I absolutely love how the cowl has its iconic rubbery texture look to it, and it's got the little furrowed brows to where you know your Batman is pissed off. And I do, of course, love how the eye holes stop in the mask right here to show that he has painted his eyelids black. However, the only thing that I really don't like is how you can kind of see some gold bleeding through the bat symbol down here on the chest, and I also wish they would have painted the edges here black. Nothing I can't fix myself. However, down here now, guys, looking at his torso, it is, of course, that beautiful body armor that we've seen from the 89 movie, and I just feel like, you know, it just makes him look so tough, so strong. He does look amazing. Going down here now, guys, I do love the gold belt. I love how the gold belt matches the gold oval. They are the same paint, so it does look fantastic and just makes the suit all come together as well. Flipping over to the back, guys, before we take a look at his legs, they did, of course, include a cloth cape, and I feel like it is a good length. However, I'm probably going to replace this with a pleather typed wire cape, so that way I can actually pose it up to one of the iconic poses that we've seen him do in the 89 movies, or like I keep referencing, the 1992 Batman Returns, so that way I can get a nice little winged bat suit looking like when he jumps off the building and he's got his little mechanical bat wings on his back. I always love that scene and how he attracts the other bats to like follow him because now he is the king bat. I do think that that is absolutely amazing. And then going down here now, guys, looking at his boots, I feel like his boots and his legs are beautifully detailed. He does, of course, have the beautiful leg muscles going throughout the entire suit. And then, of course, these boots are absolutely phenomenal. And I want to say these are a reuse of the calf for the Flash Batman. However, that would still make sense, but I'm not 100%. I will, of course, be doing the size comparison in just a moment, and then we can confirm this. However, I do love that they did like the homage to like the Nike boots that he wore, or the Nike tennis shoes that he wore, just without the Nike logo, of course. And then, of course, he has the coverage over the top to hide the laces. With all that said, guys, let's go ahead and zoom away from the Batman and take a closer look at his size, his articulation, and get into some size comparison. When it comes to how tall this figure stands, guys, the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman does stand to the top of the head, because you guys know I don't count the ears. Looks like he's about 7 1/8, so we are, of course, going to round down just to the standard 7 inches that McFarlane likes to do. Let's go ahead and move him closer to the camera here so we can jump into some articulations. Starting out with his head articulation, guys, he can, of course, look up about that far and look down about that far. He can, of course, break the 89 curse and move his head all the way around and get some beautiful head tilt in there. He can also look left and he can look right. So we are, of course, deviating from the solid neck portion, which you guys know that I absolutely hate that neck joint when it's just the solid piece. However, I know McFarlane's going to reuse it, so I don't know why he didn't just reuse it to this, so that way it gives it that 89 accurate body head movement that he had to do. Going up here now, guys, looking at his arms, he does, of course, come with useful butterfly joints. His arms go up about that far, and they do, of course, rotate all the way around with, of course, the beautiful bicep swivel, double hinged elbows, and, of course, he does have fisted hands, but they do rotate at the wrist. They rotate all the way around, and they do hinge up and down. When it comes to his ab articulation, guys, now he does get some beautiful ab wiggle in there, and he can, of course, crunch forward, which is very, very rare for a McFarlane toy. However, I've been noticing on the Batman figures, he's been letting him crunch forward a little bit more, which I do love because we all know Batman is supposed to be agile. But with that said, guys, he is, of course, a limbo master at the DC parties. Going down here, guys, looking at his waist. His waist is on a swivel, so it can rotate all the way around. His legs go forward about that far, and they go back about that far, kind of getting stopped by the rubber buttocks. But as you can see, he still kicks back and exposing that infamous McFarlane crotch gap. He does, of course, come with double hinged knees. And then his ankles do, of course, they go down, they go up. He has toe articulation, and he does, of course, come with that beautiful ankle pivot. Starting off with the size comparison, guys, here we have the 89 Batman standing next to the 2023 Flash Michael Keaton Batman, and you guys already knew it was coming. And as you can see, the scale between these two do work. However, I will say the Flash Batman is just a tad bit taller. Next up, guys, here we have the 89 Batman standing next to the Joker of the Three Jokers storyline. And as you can see, he kind of gives off a Jack Nicholson-esque Joker to him. So I do think this will be the Joker that this Batman is fighting on my shelf. Next up, guys, jumping out of the DC universe and into the Marvel universe, more specifically the Insomniac universe. Here we have the 89 Batman standing next to the Insomniac Spider-Man from Spider-Man PS4. And as you can see, Batman is just a little bit taller. And last but not least, guys, here we have the 89 McFarlane Batman standing next to the Marvel legend Steve Rogers Captain America. And as you can see, the size simply does not work. Alright, guys, and there you have it. Another action figure review video in the books. on my channel for you guys to enjoy. When it comes to my final review on the Batman and Batmobile 2-pack, I am going to, of course, give this a 10 out of 10. I absolutely love the design of this Batmobile, and McFarlane Toys did an amazing job capturing what was on the screen and putting it in figure form. And when it comes to the Batman himself, I absolutely love it. The only thing that I'm going to knock it on is, of course, that oval. I do love the head sculpt, the body mold, the entire figure looks amazing. I just wish we would have got that extra bit of black paint on the bat symbol itself, so that way the gold is not bleeding through. And then, of course, the oval on the outside next to the chest. I feel like if they would have painted that black to where we had the infamous black logo, then it would have looked 10 times better. However, to me, it doesn't knock it, because just one little stripe with black paint and it will fix it. No problem whatsoever. With all that said, though, guys, I do want to point out that yes, my studio does look different. I have a blue painted wall now, and of course a red tabletop. Let me know what you think if the red and blue go together in terms of course, does it pop in the video. I do also have extra lights and have them set up to where now I do not have so much of a glare when it comes to the open face window McFarlane Toys packages, and we can actually see the figure just fine on the inside of the package. So just let me know down in the comments what you guys think of my new setup in here. I do want to also let you guys know, yes, I am aware that I am echoing. If I sounded different in this video, it was because I was trying to quiet myself down to where I didn't echo so bad. I am in the middle of the process of finishing up my move. Me and my wife and kids, we moved to a brand new house, and I am still in the process of setting up my studio so that way I do not echo so badly for you guys. In order to change it, I might end up putting some empty boxes just stacked up on the wall behind me, but I will let you know, and I will definitely be posting a picture of what my studio looks like on my Instagram. So be sure that you guys go follow that Multiverse figure collection, and I will be sure to give you guys a follow back. With all that said, guys, if you did enjoy what you saw here, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you are new. We try to put up at least 2 videos a week for you guys to enjoy. With all that said, I'm getting out of here, and I will see you in the next video.